that there's nothing wrong would happen here. And then you've got Gary McCarthy, the former police superintendent, who's out there saying, well, I think that the officers conducted themselves properly. In this case, it's a terrible thing, but this is the way it went down. There's a lack of trust. There's a lack of information, and that fuels that lack of trust.
They released the tape because they had to release the tape.
Sure.
Laura is absolutely correct. They had no choice. After the Laquan McDonald fiasco, they had to release the tape. This is not a sign of reform. This is a sign of a re-election bid by the mayor. There's no question about it. And everybody who is watching would understand that.
That's what's interesting about this is that you have seen how, whether it's mayoral candidates, whether it's community activists, you've seen how people have taken this incident for their own agenda.
Kate, what is your reaction to this, especially the mayor's reaction when we heard him say that we need to take a step back, we need to stop shouting over each other, we need to listen to each other?
You know, I think that's the objective reasoning that the mayor's trying to instill among all the parties involved in this. I mean, the reality of the situation is, even though they have released the video, the complete video hasn't been released, and other videos related to it on other officers, there could even be cell phone video out there that we haven't seen yet. There's not a totality of understanding of the situation. So on all sides, I think that the call for calm and the call for reason and taking a step back and looking at that is accurate, and also the investigation needs to play out.
But that's really hard to tell people who have seen these incidents happen again and again and again. There's been 3 police-related shootings of African-American men just in the last several months, and there's lots of questions about all of them. But it is true. The investigation has to be completed. I think this investigation will be completed a lot more quickly and expeditiously than past ones have been completed, but people are going to have to wait. Well,
We'll see.
maybe they'll wait till after the election.
They've got 60 days. They've got 60 days. But
60
those
days.
60 days culminates with the start of the Jason Van Dyke first-degree murder trial. The Chicago police officer suspended without pay, charged with first-degree murder.
And all of this is coming, of course, as a consent decree is being formed for police reform. This trial is going to start, and the upcoming mayoral election, even though it's not really until next year, is coming up swiftly. Is this going to be a huge issue in that campaign?
It absolutely is. The mayor is saying step back and behave because that's to his advantage. He needs calm, and he's not going to get it. It's a very serious situation. Neither he nor Eddie Johnson really has a grip on this. These things keep happening. COPA, thank goodness, has new leadership and may be able to get to the bottom of this. We shall see. This is going to be a test of the new COPA.
John Cass from the Chicago Tribune said that he detected a tinge of fear in the mayor's voice when he held his press conference regarding this. Did you hear that in his voice when you heard it?
I mean, I don't know that I heard that in his voice, but I think that the city has in some ways maybe complicated the issue by only releasing a part of that video. I mean, while everybody wants there to be calm and wait to see what the rest of it entails, I think that just showing a portion of it to the city's advantage has only increased or fueled the controversy even further.
Well, and also there's suspicion even about that video because, as the police department said, it was edited and there was a portion that was frozen to emphasize the fact that the gentleman reached for his gun. So there's distrust even in the material that's been put
And there
out.
were 5 officers at that scene, so each presumably should have been wearing a body camera, and of the 5 officers, only 1 shot. The one who shot happened to be a probationary officer, so that means he had only been on the street for less than a year, fresh out of the academy, and that plays to what you had mentioned originally, some of the concern in the neighborhood, because people have been requesting more police, because along 71st Street, people selling loose squares, selling cigarettes, or whatever they're selling, and they want to get to the retailer.
Cops want to take this kind of assignment, and a lot of them don't.
Bringing in officers who are new and also from outside the community, because while the police training has become more comprehensive and more sensitive to racial issues, it's really hard to instill in someone in 6 months being comfortable in a different neighborhood.
Let's move on to some other political news. Could the summit in Helsinki reshape the Illinois political landscape? Black candidates for mayor of Chicago start throwing elbows, and Chicago might become the largest U.S. city to offer universal basic income. So the Trump